Here's a fact for you. There is more amazing stuff hiding in Disney World that goes beyond just Cinderella Castle and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. But in order to find these amazing things, we gotta go to Disney Springs. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Vlog, and today's video is stuffed to the brim with all sorts of Disney Springs activities for all vacation types. Whether you're looking for high-end food or good food on a dime, the newest experiences or classic must-sees, something to entertain the kids, or something for a hot date night, you name it, there is a little something for everyone inside Disney Springs. So we're gonna see if we can build a full Disney day for you inside this shopping district. We've got 50 amazing things you never knew were there. First up, that new drone show. And we are so excited. The new drone show called Disney Dreams That Soar is coming to Disney Springs this summer beginning on May 24th. But here's the catch. It's only going to be here for a limited time. So you'll need to visit Disney Springs by September 2nd if you don't want to miss out on the exclusive experience. The drone show will be a late night perk for those still hanging out at Disney Springs once the sun goes down. So if you're going to stick around Disney Springs late to catch Disney Dreams That Soar, plan your next park day accordingly and consider hitting the snooze button the next morning to catch up on those Z's. This next one is something I think we've only talked about it maybe once on the channel before, but it's really, really cool, like a real hidden gem. It's called Spin Art. Now, the art corner is the place to go if you want a unique Disney souvenir that's completely tailored to you. There are digital caricatures, hand-drawn name illustrations. I actually have one of those for my son, which is very, very cool. Or if you want to take those creative liberties into your own hands, you can make custom spin art just by hopping onto one of the shop's stationary bikes. Sounds weird, I know, but it's actually pretty easy to do and really fun. First, you're going to select up to 4 paint colors, whichever 4 colors you prefer. Then you'll get on one of the stationary bikes and start pedaling away to get the paint on your canvas spinning. By the end of your artistic journey/workout, you'll have a one-of-a-kind canvas of art created by you and you alone. Just keep in mind that you will have to wait about 30 minutes before you can take your art with you, since it's definitely going to need to dry before it's travel ready. But after half an hour has passed, you can pick it up from the art corner and it's good to go. Have you ever looked at a cute Disney dessert and thought, I wish I could learn how to decorate like that? Well, now you can. Amaret's Patisserie Cake Decorating Experience is a 90-minute class that lets you and another friend decorate your own character dome cakes while you sip on an assortment of refreshments. This experience costs $199, but that price does cover the other person joining you too, unless you want to add a second cake to your experience. That's an extra $50. Depending on when you book this experience, that'll determine the kind of dome cake you make. On Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, you can make a dome cake inspired by Mickey, and on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you can make one inspired by Minnie. While we mobile order from the My Disney Experience app all the time when we're trying to get a quick bite inside the parks, that's not exactly the most common practice in Disney Springs. In fact, out of the many, many, many places to eat on the go in this shopping district, the only Disney Springs restaurants currently that have a mobile service option via the My Disney Experience app are Amaret's Patisserie, BB Wolf Sausage Co., Disney's Candy Cauldron, Deluxe Burger, and Goofy's Candy Company. Everything else you're just going to have to stand in line for, or will you? At select quick services like the Polite Pig, Everglazed, Chicken Guy, Starbucks, and Earl of Sandwich, you can mobile order straight from the restaurant's website or app. Each mobile order site works a little differently, but more than likely you'll choose what you want, pay for it online, and be given a rough estimate for when you can go back and pick it up. Just keep in mind that if you're wanting to enjoy one of the Polite Pig's many bourbon options from their extensive bourbon bar, you won't be able to mobile order one of their spirits, so you'll still have to wait in a standby for any and all alcohol orders. Now, whether you can't find any last-minute reservations for Wine Bar George, or you're just looking for a more casual day environment with similar Wine Bar George offerings, the basket might be the place you're after. This is something we haven't talked about a whole lot on the channel, but you're gonna start hearing about it a lot more. The basket is the counter service component to Wine Bar George. It serves stuff like sandwiches, small plates, picnic basket meals, and wines on tap. You're also going to find a fun variety of wine slushies too, like the Dole Whip Froscato. Overall, if you're looking for a nice impromptu date night or date afternoon, the basket's a solid option thanks to its easy, shareable dishes and intimate outdoor seating area. I personally am going to highly recommend those mac and cheese bites, which are the same ones you can get inside the restaurant, and that Millionaire's shortbread. So the fact that this kooky little kiosk has been part of the Disney Springs scene for years now absolutely delights me. I just love the specific novelty of it. This place is called Lefty, and it's just for left-handed people. It's located in the marketplace area of the shopping district and sells strictly items for lefties. You might find left-handed scissors or left-handed pens, even shirts that rejoice over the fact that you are left-handed and want the world to know. But this isn't the only kitschy open-air shop you're going to find hanging around Disney Springs. You can also find novelty items at other kiosks. The Eye Catcher's cart sells laser cut wind spinners you can hang above your front porch. My dad got me one with a big Mickey in it. The Happy Hound kiosk has lots of goodies to bring home to your four-legged friend, including bandanas with sassy phrases. And the carved ring cart is exactly what it sounds like. You can get a ring that's carved to show off the initials of your loved one. Everything is awesome at the Lego store in Disney Springs. Okay, that's not entirely true. The cost for those major Lego sets are not so awesome, but if you're looking for a much cheaper Lego souvenir that also exercises the creative part of your brain, then be sure to check out the Build Your Own minifigure experience. Over at the Minifigure Factory inside the store, you can customize a Lego minifig from its hair to its face to its accessory to its pants. But the real creative stuff happens when you get on one of the Minifig Factory tablets where you're going to be able to customize a specific design that your Lego person is going to wear. You can pick from one of the factory's dozens of default designs, or you can get all artsy-fartsy and make your own. After you get the front and back of the shirt designed just the way you want it, the Lego store will print your creation right there in the shop. And you can do this all for around $12 per minifig. Warning though, this experience is a pretty popular one, so you might not just be able to waltz right up and make a minifig whenever the mood strikes you, especially if you're visiting in the evening when the store gets a little bit more crowded. If you notice the Minifig Factory is bustling with activity during your visit, ask a Lego cast member if you can be added to the factory wait list. They'll take your name and phone number and give you an estimated wait time. Then you can go back out and explore Disney Springs some more as you wait for a text telling you to come on back. Now, you can book online, but it's usually just easier to go the day of and join the walk-up wait list. So the minifig reservations usually book up online and make it look like you won't be able to do it during your visit, when in reality, you'll just have to join a virtual queue like you would if you were going to get a Gideon's cookie. Next up is that giant paella. If you're looking for an ultimate shareable entree to split with your whole family, maybe even the family sitting next to you too, Heleo's got just the ticket. Heleo's paella is a massive portion of paella for the entire table. You got a few different options to choose from, like the chicken or veggie or shrimp or ribeye, but they actually switch it up all the time. You never really know what the specialty is going to be. So if you are really concerned, definitely call the restaurant ahead of time and find out what they're serving on the day you're going to go. But here's the kicker. Because this dish is so large and can serve 4 to 5 guests easily, it takes a while to cook. So expect to wait 45 plus minutes before you'll finally get to dig in, which is why we highly recommend putting your order in for this option right after you're seated. When your paella is ready, a whole spectacle takes place. A bell is rung and all the servers, not just your server, but all of them, shout paella. This is a fun, unique, and super tasty option to try if you're wanting a nice dinner to share with your group in Disney Springs. But the prices are a little less fun. Paellas like this range between $130 and $250, but if you're splitting the bill between multiple folks in your group, then it may be a little less of sticker shock for you. Just how badly do you want a Gideon's Bakehouse secret baked good that only limited people will have access to ordering? Because they're going to make you work for it. Gideon's Bakehouse sells an assortment of cookies and cakes throughout the entire year, but every now and then they make a super limited batch of a specific flavor, and only those who know the secret password will actually be able to order that flavor while supplies last. More than likely, you're going to see this secret password featured somewhere on Gideon's social media pages, either as a specific post or hidden in their stories. So Gideon's does reward their followers with the rare stuff for following their accounts. This year, Gideon's had a secret fluffernutter cake released in mid-April that you could only order if you had the secret phrase. It's like Beetlejuice, but instead say fluffernutter. And on Valentine's Day, you could order one of Gideon's red velvet snack cakes by saying the phrase, "I love you." Aw, probably could have guessed that. So if you're going to be in Disney Springs in the future, it may be worth peeking at Gideon's social pages just in case a super special treat releases while you're there that you need the code for. So ready to cheat your way to Disney dining victory? Here's how to make it happen in Disney Springs. Since most restaurants inside Disney Springs are not directly owned by Disney, but instead are owned by third-party companies, the Disney World website isn't the only place websites where you can book dining reservations for these experiences. You can also book dining reservations for Springs restaurants on OpenTable.com. So how early can you book? Well, it depends on the restaurant. For example, you might be able to reserve your table for Wine Bar George in Disney Springs up to a year in advance. I don't think you'll need to worry about booking it that far in advance, but it could be an option. A ton of other Disney Springs restaurants let you book between 60 days and 6 months out, like Paddlefish, Boathouse, Edison, and Morimoto Asia. And the best part about OpenTable, even if you're not finding reservation availability on the My Disney Experience website, that doesn't mean you won't still find it on OpenTable. So always check both websites just to increase your chances of getting those reservations secured. Another little benefit of OpenTable is that there's no no-show fee. Now, I'm not encouraging you to no-show to your Disney restaurant reservation. I don't think that's cool. But if you no-show to a Disney resort reservation, it's going to be a $10 fee per person that's going to get slapped onto your credit card. But if you don't show up for an OpenTable reservation, there is currently no fee. Although if you do it too often, they will get rid of your account. Okay, this next one is so cool, and I know that our team kind of just learned about this in the last couple of years, so I would guess there's a lot of you out there who don't actually know about this. If you purchase a shirt or trousers or pants or some other fashionable item from the Uniqlo store in Disney Springs, but said item experiences a wardrobe malfunction while you're out and about, Uniqlo can actually give your poor threads a bit of a fixer-upper to get them as good as new again. For $5, you can take your damaged Uniqlo branded clothes to the shop for on-site repairs. According to the website, this includes button replacement and other fixes for jeans, down jackets, shirts, and sweaters. Love it. By the way, if you scan the QR code you see on the screen now or head to disneyfoodblog.com/Disney Springs after this, we got a free Disney Springs quick guide that we can send straight to your email. It's got dining recommendations, entertainment options, example itineraries, which are super helpful, and a lot more. So definitely check that out. It's totally free. We'll send it right to your email. Scan the QR code. Now, what you see inside the Raglan Road table service is basically a little slice of Ireland smack dab in the sunshiny state of Florida. And I mean it. This place is as legit as they come. Not just because of the food, the river dancing, the Guinness beer, but because of the furniture decorating the place. If you don't sit at one of the bars in this establishment, you'll still want to take a moment to appreciate the bars themselves. The bars lining the inside of Raglan Road are 130 years old and were brought to the US straight from Ireland. Doesn't get much more authentic than that. So my love of bread and loaded fries is immeasurable, so thank goodness Disney Springs provides ample amounts of both. Now, where can you find the best loaded fries inside this shopping district? Well, I was literally made to answer this question. Back at the new quick service Eat, you can order the tandoori poutine for $16, which is made with masala fries, tandoori chicken, white cheddar curds, and rich tomato butter sauce. At the daily poutine kiosk near Amaret's Patisserie, you can grab a variety of different loaded fry options all year round, including the classic beef and cheddar cheese curds poutine, as well as a few seasonal varieties too, for just over $10. Now, many of y'all in the comments have declared Disney's poutine as faux-teen, since it's not truly the Canadian classic stuff at all, so I will respect your wishes and refer to it that way from here on out, just for you. And then there's the Splitsville Luxury Lane loaded fries that many of y'all are missing out on by skipping the whole dining and bowling experience. The loaded fries here are $14, which is super cheap for what you get, and they come smothered with queso blanco, bacon, ranch, scallions, and love. Hey, the Splitsville menu says love, not me, but I would not necessarily disagree with this. The Splitsville menu also says this loaded fry option serves 2 or more people, so you'll definitely have plenty of fries for everyone in your group to try. Also, keep in mind that you don't have to bowl in order to dine at Splitsville and vice versa. While many folks do come here to experience both, you can always make a reservation for one experience instead if you'd rather just get the fries but skip out on, the bowling. Next on the list is a whole PhotoPass studio. If you purchased the Memory Maker add-on to your trip and you're trying to squeeze in as many PhotoPass opportunities to get your money's worth, then I need to tell you about the PhotoPass spot you can find hiding at Disney Springs. The Disney PhotoPass studio is located in the Marketplace area, sandwiched between Marketplace Co-op and Ghirardelli Soda Fountain. Now, it's pretty easy to walk on past if you're not looking for it, but when you do find it, this is a little photo studio where you can choose your virtual backdrop, maybe a prop or two, to and take a few family photos indoors that you can access through your memory maker. Just like a regular PhotoPass stop in the parks, you don't need a reservation for the studio, and often you won't really have to worry about much of a wait either. After you're done with your session, you can see your pictures immediately at the viewing stations off to the side. And if you didn't get the memory maker add-on, no worries, you can still purchase these photos at an individual price point once you get back home, or you can buy and print them right there in the studio to take with you. This is really, really fun. It's basically like, this is probably showing my age, but you remember back when you'd go to like the Sears or the Walmart like photo studios for your family picture? That's the kind of vibe here. So it's just fabulously unironic. I love it. If you're someone who really appreciates a dining establishment loaded with Imagineering and storytelling and lots of fun Easter eggs, then you've got to prioritize at least one visit to Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar. Jock Lindsay's, according to Imagineering lore, is the waterfront property that belongs to Indiana Jones's trusted pilot, Jock Lindsay. Apparently, he discovered this waterfront property in 1938 as he flew with Indiana over Florida on the hunt for the Fountain of Youth. He returned to the area in the 40s to set up a small business, Jock Lindsay's Air Tours, which offered scenic plane tours across the state. And now we're left with the hangar where Jock also used to host his Society of Explorers and Adventurers friends. If you don't know much about Disney's Society of Explorers and Adventurers, well, there's a whole lot of ground to cover there, but we've got a post all about it on our DFB website, which I'll link down in the description for you. Now, this hangar bar doesn't take reservations, so seating is first come, first served. But while you're here, be sure to really appreciate all the details that highlight Jock's aviation career over the years, because there's a whole lot of them. You'll see his life story told through pictures and banners, trophies, newspaper clippings, hanging mechanical tools, and collected artifacts. And if you're lucky, you might even be able to grab a seat inside the lounge's diving bell booth if it's free and available during your visit. But basically, what you're going to find here is a lot of Indiana Jones Easter eggs and lore and very, very cool stuff that's going to remind you of the films. And there's even a hidden R2-D2 here because of George Lucas. Inside the Disney parks, all your built-up Starbucks rewards points aren't going to do you a lick of good, since these locations sell Starbucks items but aren't legit Starbucks storefronts, so they can't take your rewards points. But here's the good news. All you Disney Springs shoppers, you can go to the Starbucks locations inside Disney Springs, and they are legit storefronts, meaning you can use your Starbucks stars and refillable mugs or any other Starbucks app perks at either Disney Springs location. And much like I mentioned earlier, you can mobile order from these locations too via the Starbucks app, which you cannot do inside the Disney parks. So it is Christmas 365 days a year if you happen to visit the Disney Days of Christmas store at Disney Springs. But no matter what time of the year you visit, you may want to make a pilgrimage out this direction for one of my favorite souvenir options of all time, a personalized ornament. Now, for painted ornaments, you can get a name, year, or number painted on expertly for an extra $5. And then there's $5 more for every word or art piece you choose to add on top of that. Or you can get the month, date, and year of your trip visit, all for an additional $15. You've also got a lot of different shiny ink colors to choose from too, so choose wisely. And it's not just ornaments that the Disney Days of Christmas store can personalize. They can also add some extra bling to select Mickey ears styles and celebration buttons too. Celebration buttons for honeymoons, anniversaries, birthdays, graduations, or just any sort of event you're wanting to celebrate really can be picked up at the lobby of your resort or at any of the guest relations buildings at the front of the parks for absolutely $0 and 0 cents. There's also a guest relations right there in Disney Springs. But if you swing by the Disney Days of Christmas shop, they can style your button just like they would your ornament for an extra $3. By the way, they can do this at Ye Christmas Shop in Magic Kingdom too, but this video is not about Magic Kingdom. So this next one is seriously such an underrated event in Disney Springs, but if you come here in the summer, it almost makes enduring the Floridian heat worth it. Almost. Flavors of Florida kicks off in Disney Springs every summer. It's basically kind of a food festival. It brings some fresh and citrusy seasonal eats to several restaurants around the shopping district. Last year, this event started up on July 1st and lasted until the end of August, and it featured hundreds of limited time cuisine and sips like Florida shrimp tacos at Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar, the Buzz and Honey Latte at Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company, Key West Pink Shrimp Ceviche at Polite Pig, the Key Lime Pie Martini at Splitsville, and so many other seasonally appropriate eats and drinks directly inspired by the Sunshine State. Now, we've been eating at Disney World restaurants for decades, inside not just Disney Springs, but the parks and resorts too, gathering up the must-try snacks and dining recommendations into digital guidebooks just for you. For most of us, a Disney World vacation represents a financial investment we can't afford to waste, which is why the DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining is packed with so many tips, so much information to make sure you don't regret the food you pay for on a vacation. Head to dfbstore.com to pick up your copy today, and don't forget to type in code YouTube to save some money off the cover price. It's not Mickey Mouse, it's not Minnie, it's not Pluto or Daisy or Donald or really any Disney character for that matter, but at Disney Springs, you can meet and take pictures with the Coca-Cola polar bear. Over at the Coca-Cola store, you're going to find 3 floors completely dedicated to the carbonated beverage company. This means lots of souvenirs, a rooftop Coca-Cola bar, and a photo op with the 7-foot mascot himself. You can find the polar bear mascot photo op on the store's 2nd floor, but just a heads up, he's not always out and available to take pictures with. The Disney website encourages all guests who want to know our Arctic friends' specific meet and greet hours of the day to call the store directly and ask about them at 407-560-0107. And speaking of interesting meet and greets, did you know you can typically meet an M&M over at the M&M store? You can say hello to Yellow for me. Usually the M&M characters greet guests every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 12 to 8 p.m. Sometimes you meet brown, sometimes you meet red, sometimes you meet yellow. If you're a fan of the international drink samples at Club Cool over in Epcot, I got a fun surprise for you. You can order full sizes of your favorite Club Cool drinks over at the Coca-Cola rooftop bar in Disney Springs. Yep, we're still here at the Coke store. Hope you're thirsty. Unfortunately, you're not going to find free soda samples here like you will in Epcot, but you can order several popular Club Cool soda flavors for a price in 16, 20, and 24-ounce cups. Not every Club Cool flavor may be available at the time of your visit, but most commonly you're going to find options like the Vegeta Beta, the Sprite Cucumber, the Inca Cola, or everyone's favorite, Beverly. Yep, can you believe it? There are actually people out there who enjoy Beverly enough to buy it. If you're one of those people, let me know in the comments because I know you are hiding there somewhere. All right, it's always happy hour somewhere in Disney Springs. You just gotta know where to look. Happy hour offerings update pretty regularly, but per the release of this video, here are just a couple of the happy hours you can find in the shopping district daily. Paradiso 37 has $8 house margaritas and $7 domestic draft beers from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the bar only. And STK Orlando's got specialty cocktails, wine, and lounge bites for $3, $6, and $9 on Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, 3 to 5:30 p.m., and Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. to close. We got all the updated happy hours across the springs featured in our DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining ebook too, so that's just another reason why you might want to check it out while you're over there at dfbstore.com. Grabbing a Joffrey's coffee is already pretty special to the Disney World scene, but if you want to amp up your Joffrey's coffee experience from special to amazingly special, then you might want to consider splurging an extra 50 cents on some custom latte art. At the flagship Joffrey's coffee store in the landing area of Disney Springs, you can get specialty foam art to jazz up any cappuccino or latte or anything else of your choice. There are 2 ways to go about this. You can download the Ripples app and follow the step-by-step instructions, or you can use the Ripples app that's already downloaded on the Joffrey Store tablet and follow the prompts from there. Disney Springs features new flavors inside their restaurants all the time, sometimes seasonally, sometimes monthly, sometimes even for one weekend only, but the menus are always switching up. So no matter when you visit, you're bound to run into a different offering than you experienced last time. Just to give you a very few examples, Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar transforms into Jock Lindsay's Holiday Bar toward the end of the year, bringing with it new festive drinks and eats like the ham and cheese trees, the hot chocolate grail flight, and the post-flight milk and cookies. And each month we see new dessert flavors pop up for locations like Gideon's Bakehouse, Salt and Straw, Swirls on the Water, and Sprinkles Cupcakes. And on Thanksgiving, certain restaurants like Maria and Enzo's, Homecoming, Raglan Road, City Works, Planet Hollywood, and Wine Bar George will have one-day-only Thanksgiving cuisine featured on the menu for any families looking to keep things semi-traditional during their Thanksgiving holiday in Disney World. Now, this next one is kind of just a silly thing, but it's a really nifty and useful silly thing. When you are parking in one of the Disney Springs parking garages, you won't have to second guess whether a row inside the garage is completely filled or not. Each individual parking spot has those little lights hanging up above them. If you see any of those lights are bright green, that means the space is free and yours for the taking. Again, this isn't just a Disney specific thing. I know you probably see this in your airports and stuff like that, but it's nice to know that when you are trying to park at Disney Springs, Springs, you don't have to worry about it being a guessing game. Just be like a moth and follow the lights. Okay, so maybe Enzo's Hideaway isn't as secret as the name suggests, but the concept of getting a drink inside a secret tunnel over at Disney Springs may still have flown under your radar. According to Imagineering lore, Enzo's Hideaway Tunnel Bar is located in what was said to be rum-running tunnels just below the Italian restaurant Maria and Enzo's. This so-called speakeasy is inspired by the aperitivo bars in Rome, and better yet, also inspired by the true Florida history of rum running. Along with Enzo's immersive theming, including graffiti on the walls and empty liquor bottles lining the shelves, the restaurant serves Prohibition-era style cocktails like giggle water, along with a full menu of Roman dishes featuring pastas, paninis, and cured meat and cheese platters to share. But this is kind of a secret tunnel because you can actually follow it along and get into the Edison restaurant over by the restrooms, because the two restaurants share restrooms. So it's kind of a secret tunnel that you might not realize opens up into that restaurant too. Now, this is the sweetest transaction you're ever going to make. Disney Springs specialty cupcake shop Sprinkles has a Pepto-Bismol colored Cupcake ATM located right outside its building. If you want to make a cupcake purchase without going into the shop and purchasing one the old-fashioned way, or if the store is closed and the Cupcake ATM is still running, then choose your confections of choice on the ATM screen, choose your quantities, and then proceed to checkout. It's easy as cake. So many folks forget about the fact that you can indeed get a giant turkey leg in Disney World outside of the Disney parks. We forget about it too sometimes, but you most certainly can get one over at the Smokehouse quick service window just outside of the House of Blues restaurant. The turkey legs here are pretty much the same Ren Fair style hunk of meat on a bone that most folks either love or hate. They're giant, they're smoky, a little bit crispy, a whole lot of salty, and will cost you $14 per leg. All right, if you are in your brunch era like we are, let's talk about Disney Springs brunch options, because there's a bunch of brunches here, y'all. Several of Disney Springs table service restaurants host weekend brunches all year long, and while I could probably fill an entire video just talking about brunch alone, maybe we should do that, let's cut to the chase and rapid fire through a few of the shopping district's best of options that you might want to add to your weekend vacation schedule. A Bayou brunch is served on Saturdays and Sundays over at the House of Blues with options like chicken and waffles and a made-to-order omelet station. A Rise and Shine brunch is served inside the Homecoming restaurant on Saturdays and Sunday, including items like the Hush Puppy Benedict and Southern Poutine, topped with a fried egg. The Wine Country brunch happens at Wine Bar George on Saturdays and Sundays, giving you the chance to pair your morning Dole Whip Froscato with a fried chicken biscuit or steak and eggs. STK Orlando is one of the few Disney brunch locations left that still has a bottomless mimosa or Bloody Mary option, but there are two rules you have to follow if you want to partake in that endless drink. Rule number 1, you must order an entree along with your mimosa or Mary. And rule number 2, you only have 90 minutes to enjoy these bottomless drinks before you're going to be cut off by your server. And if you want to check out my personal favorite brunch stop, the Boathouse has a Captain Sing-Along brunch on Sundays where dueling piano players will be tickling the ivories and taking requests while you chow down on a Biscoff cookie waffle or avocado toast. My favorite part about that particular brunch, though, is of course those cinnamon rolls. They are so good. It's basically rolls, but just like doused in this like cinnamon icing. Very good. And if you want to check out my personal favorite brunch stop, we are back at Raglan Road. They've got their rollicking Raglan brunch served on Saturdays and Sundays, featuring live music and specialty options like the ever so sweet pancakes diaspora with creme fraiche, maple syrup, and mixed berry compote, as well as the ever so savory all this and eggs on top, made with pulled slow braised beef, potato hash and sauteed mushrooms, green onions, and mushroom ketchup, topped with 2 sunny side up eggs. Now, I'm not always the biggest moonshine fan, but Homecoming has found a way to convince me otherwise. Homecoming has 5 unique shines on tap, with an occasional extra shine cocktail thrown on the list every now and then for a limited time, depending on the season. But the main shine players here typically include the rum shine punch, the strawberry lemonade, the sweet tea shine, the moonshine margarita, and the blue hooch, aka the strongest shine on the list, made with blue flame moonshine, lemon infused moonshine, blue curacao, house-made simple syrup, fresh lemon juice, and a splash of Sprite. Each shine on tap is going to cost you $15, but if you're having a hard time narrowing down which shine you want to try, you can always order the Shine Flight instead for $36 to try a small pour of all 5. Now, Raglan Road, in addition to brunch, also likes to keep the celebrations going all year long. So if you're planning on dining at this Irish pub during your next visit, be aware of these annual events. During Labor Day weekend, Raglan Road holds their Great Irish Hoolie Music Festival, which is filled with lots of singing, dancing, entertainment, and limited time food and drink offerings. Every St. Patrick's Day, Raglan Road gets in touch with their green side by offering even more limited time food, drink, and performances exclusive to the holiday. And on World Whiskey Day, toward the end of May, Raglan Road likes to join in on the fun with their limited time whiskey deals, where you can typically try a flight of 4 select whiskeys from around the world for $30. If you're still a fan of snail mail and greeting cards, which you should be, those things are heartfelt, then you're really going to get a kick out of the Love Pop storefront. This little store is in the town center area, located next to Ron John's surf shop, and is a store completely dedicated to cute, crafty 3D pop-up cards for any and every occasion. But Love Pop doesn't just sell cards. They also have these fun paper flower bouquets too, which are the perfect gift for your partner who just can't keep a houseplant alive, no matter what they do. Not me literally typing this out next to my poor dead houseplant that I'm in denial over. Forget about those private karaoke room experiences. It is time to really show off your voice to all the other Disney Springs guests who are gathered at Stargazer's Bar. Every Wednesday night from 7 to 11 p.m., you can join in on an evening of karaoke sing-alongs at Planet Hollywood's attached outdoor bar. Stargazers is first come, first perform. So if you really want to do this and make your big Disney World debut, plan to get to the bar a little early so you can make sure you can sign up for a good karaoke time slot. And if you stop by Stargazers on a Friday or Saturday evening instead, you can enjoy live professional music, just to give your melodious vocal cords the night off. Okay, you know how you're super unique and you're not like anybody else, and just like Mr. Rogers, we like you just the way you are? Well, so does Disney Springs. So Marketplace Co-op is like a little shopping district all on its own, housing different shops and brands that rotate out on occasion to make room for something else. But what stood the test of time inside the Marketplace is the D-Tech on-demand area that's toward the front of the store and to your left. D-Tech gives you the chance to either purchase one of their pre-made tech accessories like a phone case or magic band, or customize your very own because you are unique. Just station yourself at one of the many touchscreens, create a gadget or gizmo you can be proud of, and then send it on its merry little way to be printed right there in the shop, kind of like the Lego minifigs we talked about earlier. Usually it takes these custom pieces around 30 minutes to finish printing, so make sure to keep hold of your receipt and hand it back to the D-Tech cast member once it's time for you to return and pick up your creation. Caramel apples, Rice Krispie treats, marshmallows, cake pops. What do these have in common? Well, you can make them into your very own creation over at Goofy's Candy Company. Again, more customization. To do this, you'll grab a customizable card, put your name at the top, and then select your treat and your dipping flavor and your topping. You can also add extra toppings for $1 each if you're having trouble deciding on just one. Now, who remembers the days back when you could actually add as many toppings as you wanted and it didn't cost you extra? Yeah, I do. But alas, time moves on. The Disney Springs Aerophile is that tethered hot air balloon that lifts you up above the shopping district for a unique point of view. You've seen it. It's that blue balloon up in the sky. Used to be a yellow balloon. Now, the entire ride is 8 minutes long and costs $30 for adults and $25 for kids. So for a family of 4, 2 adults, 2 kids, you're talking about a $110 balloon ride for 8 minutes. Now, I'm not trying to dissuade you from trying this out because it's still a fun time despite it being ultra pricey, but I did want to warn you about the cost ahead of time to help lessen the sticker shock, or at least attempt to. Just like how you can find face painting in Disney World parks for a more affordable makeover opportunity than what you'd find at maybe Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique in Magic Kingdom, for example, you can also find a face painting kiosk inside Disney Springs, just in case you want to look like Minnie Mouse or a Princess Sparkle Kitty or a creepy skull guy or something like that. If you don't want something painted on your face, but you still want to partake in some artistic fun, the cast members at this face paint kiosk can also hook you up with a temporary tattoo or henna design. Just let them know what you're looking for. This Disney Springs face painting kiosk is located right outside the Marketplace Co-op area to the left of the store. So maybe you can do this while you're getting your D-Tech Magic Band printed. If you ever wanted to be a proud parent of a stuffed prehistoric creature with beady black eyes, now is your chance. Inside the T-Rex Cafe and to your right, you're going to find a small dino-centric gift shop where you can build a dino. So it's basically Build-A-Bear, but it's a dinosaur. You pick a dino, you stuff it up with fluff, you get a little outfit, and choose its name. It's adorable. You can also add fun little extras too, like can give it a sound or add a smell. Don't worry, they're all good smells, nothing like skunk smells or whatever like Figment. Paradiso 37 isn't exactly our #1 spot to dine in Disney Springs. It might not even rank in our top 50 if I'm being honest with you, but that doesn't mean Paradiso doesn't know how to have a good time. If you're coming to Disney Springs to party hardy, hit up the Paradiso 37 bar after the sun sets so you can listen to its live, high-energy Latin music. Once you order a spirit from the bar's Wall O Tequila, featuring over 75 different tequila types, you can start dancing the night away with your partner on the Paradiso dance floor. Just keep in mind that if you're not all about that nightlife, this party scene might start feeling a little bit too lively for you or your family. Not like in an out of control, weird way, because this is still Disney we're talking about, but in a loud and crowded kind of way. There's a secret rewards program that you can join over at the Edison, but you can't join it officially until you've ordered your first high roller cocktail. High roller cocktails are these pricey specialty drinks that'll run you $32 to $38 per drink because they are high roller, I guess. But whenever you order one of these drinks, you'll be given a high roller gold coin. And you keep that gold coin forever and ever if you want to. But once you collect 4 gold coins, you can turn those in and get a 5th drink for free. Yep, it's a pretty pricey investment for a single drink payoff, but if you and your group are planning on ordering multiple high roller drinks anyways, you might be able to rack up enough gold coins for a final high roller to share. And since we're already at the Edison, let's talk about another unique cocktail option you might want to try, though you're definitely going to need some friends to help you out with this one. The Edison brings the party straight to your table with their punch bowl option, where you can order select specialty cocktails as a whole punch bowl, ladle and all, for $100 to share among your friends and family. Actually works out to be a pretty good deal. All right, did you know there are rides in Disney Springs? Aren't those just in the parks? Well, to be fair, the rides here aren't going to be on par with Dumbo the Flying Elephant or Peter Pan's Flight or any of those, but there are technically 2 rides over in the Marketplace section that your kids might want to try for an extra fee. The first is the Marketplace Carousel, which is just your classic ornate carousel-style ride that plays Disney tunes while you spin. One ride will put you back $5, but one adult may ride for free if they're accompanying a kid who's under 42 inches tall. And the second is the Marketplace Train Express, which is this little green and red locomotive that takes kids around a short railroad track loop right outside the Pin Traders gift shop. Again, one ride is $5, but this time one adult may ride for free if they're accompanying a kid who's under 36 inches tall. Time to bust out the Christmas carols, y'all, because here we come a-sailing through the Disney Springs. I love when my love of medieval history overlaps with my love of Disney. It's like my favorite thing. Anyway, Disney Springs is a great spot to get a taste of Disney's holiday season without paying a whole lot of money to do so, including buying a park ticket. I already mentioned how Jock Lindsay's turns into that holiday bar instead of a hangar bar around this time of year, but let's see what else the shopping district has in store for us throughout the merry months of November and December. The Christmas Tree Stroll is a free activity where you can stroll around custom decorated holiday Disney themed trees placed all throughout Disney Springs. You can find Santa inside the Once Upon a Toy gift shop in the Disney Springs Marketplace. A virtual queue is often used for this location, by the way, so just be aware that you might have to join it yourself to meet the jolly old elf, but that's actually good because then you're not waiting in a 2-hour line and you can just go shop the day away while you're waiting to see Santa. There might also be opportunities where you can dine with Santa at certain Disney Springs restaurants like Maria and Enzo's and T-Rex Cafe. You're gonna have to book those ahead of time, so keep an eye out on the DFB newsletter to see when we announce that those are opening up. As you continue to shop your way around Disney Springs, be on the lookout for various streetmosphere like toy soldier stilt walkers, snowflake skaters, and tunes spun by DJs. And as the cherry on top of all this merriment and fun, from time to time in the evenings, magical Floridian snow will fall upon the town center. Quick note, while these holiday activities were available last year, they're not guaranteed to happen this year, but they happen pretty much every year. So make sure to check back with us when it gets closer to this season so we can give you the more concrete list of the 2024 Disney Springs holiday activities once we solidify those. Now, Douglas Fir was so special, he earned his own talking point. Douglas Fir is a little Christmas tree who likes to come out around the holiday season, but he's no ordinary Christmas tree. He's a cool Christmas tree. This little guy actually rolls around Disney Springs and talks to window shoppers. So if you're coming around the holidays, be on the lookout for Douglas Fir, or at least watch out for him because he's a speedy little guy who's got places to be. It's 50% boat, 50% car, and 100% a good time. You can take a 20-minute captain-guided Amphicar ride out on Lake Buena Vista before or after your boathouse meal. Okay, so you technically don't have to eat at the boathouse if you want to ride in an Amphicar. Just make reservations for this experience at the Boathouse Boutique, which is the restaurant's attached gift shop. But I will say, eating at the boathouse may actually save you money on your Amphicar tour if you're going to take one anyway. You see, this retro-styled aquatic car situation is not cheap. A 20-minute ride is going to cost $125 per car, which can accommodate up to 3 to 4 people. However, if you're planning on eating at the boathouse before your ride, you can save $25 on your Amphicar tour when you spend $50 or more at the restaurant, or the boutique gift shop for that matter. Just make sure to present your valid receipt to the boutique to get those savings applied. This is probably a one and done for me. I think it's way too expensive for what it actually is, but it looks like fun. It is fun. And, you know, if you're just on your once in a lifetime Disney trip, this could be a very cool thing for the fam to do. As you make your way around the different shops and restaurants lining Disney Springs, be sure to stop and appreciate the art you might find in the nooks and crannies along the way. Disney Springs is always taking the time to showcase local art as well as artists from across the globe through the various Disney Springs art walks. These stories and vibrant pieces are going to be strewn all throughout the town square area, so be on the lookout for them and keep those cameras at the ready. You know what Disney Springs is seriously lacking? A good beignet spot. Luckily, the shopping district can help lead us to one that's not too terribly far away. You just gotta take a free boat to get there. When you're ready to head out of Disney Springs for a bit to track down some powdered sugar and fried goodness, head to the Marketplace dock and hop aboard one of the river boats for a complimentary ride over to Disney's Port Orleans French Quarter or Riverside resorts. The boat ride is an attraction in and of itself. Not only are you gonna get a lovely view across Lake Buena Vista without having to pay $125 for an Amphicar, no offense Amphicars, but you'll also get to listen to piped in jazzy tunes. Now for those fab beignets, jump out at the French Quarter dock and head into Scat Cat's Club for a mix of beignet options ranging from sweet to boozy. Or if you're on the hunt for maybe a table service restaurant that specializes in Southern Louisiana favorites like jambalaya and shrimp and grits, just keep taking that boat on down to the Riverside section of the Port Orleans Resort and you can dine at Boatwright's Dining Hall for dinner. There's also boat transportation from Disney Springs to the Old Key West and Saratoga Springs DVC resorts too, so make sure you're in the correct line for the correct resort boat when you're planning on traveling over to one of these hotels. When you visit Disney Springs, you're more than likely to hear live music or see a live performance happening somewhere around the shopping district. Often you can catch live entertainment at the Disney Springs Advent Health Waterside stage in front of the large World of Disney store, as well as the Waterview Park stage near the boathouse. But really, musical acts pop up anywhere around the Springs. We've seen rap battles, violinists, acoustic guitar players, even strolling piano performances. Yep, the piano itself is literally strolling. You just gotta keep your ears open and let the music guide you. Speaking of free entertainment over at the Waterview Park stage, here's an offering specifically for you kids out there. Every Saturday at 10:30 a.m., 11:15 a.m., and noon, families can take part in the Disney Springs Kids Club. During this time, kids can directly interact with the entertainment taking place on the outdoor stage by participating in dance parties, creating music with bongos or maracas, playing games like hula hoop or limbo, or just simply standing back and watching the excitement unfold around them, whatever they prefer. Drawn to Life is a separately ticketed stage show inside Disney Springs that combines Disney animation with the truly unique acrobatic performances of Cirque du Soleil. This show really tugs at your emotions. Let me tell you, I was pretty much sobbing like through a lot of this show. So if you're one of those people that likes to cry, this is the place to go. It's also a really beautiful show, but just a heads up on that. The story is heart-wrenching, the stunts are nail-biting, and the sets are mind-blowing. But unlike many shows you'll find scattered about the shopping district, this one's going to cost you a pretty penny. Adult tickets range from $75 to $209 each, depending on your seats. Now, if you really want to go all out with your Drawn to Life show experience, you can invest in one of the animated evening prefix dining packages. Those are available at select Disney Springs restaurants. Here's how it works. First, you choose one out of the 13 participating restaurants to dine at 2 hours before or after the show. Then you'll pay either an extra $45 per ticket or $65 per ticket on top of the regular ticket price to dine on a specialty animated evening prix-fixe menu. Most of the restaurants on the list hit that $45 mark, including sit-down locations like Helo, Raglan Road, and Terralina Crafted Italian. But the 3 restaurants that'll set you back $65 instead are Paddlefish, the Edison, and Wolfgang Puck. We've got more details all about the animated evening dining package if you're interested, featured on our DFB website, so I'll go ahead and link that for you to answer any of the questions you might have about it. So House of Blues keeps the party pumping pretty late. There are 2 parts of this rustic wooden restaurant. The first part is the main dining room area where you're going to get to enjoy a nice sit-down meal for lunch or dinner. Well, it's sometimes nice. We've had mixed reviews, but we just went and kind of liked it a lot on our recent visit. And the second part is right next to the main restaurant building, which is simply known as the Club. This is where House of Blues puts on frequent ticketed music events for a rotating lineup of artists. You don't have to eat at House of Blues in order to see one of the shows, and vice versa, but they sure do pair well together. You can find the restaurant's full show schedule on the House of Blues website to see who's going to be playing here next. Can you believe there are even more things hiding in the Disney Springs area that you've never even heard of? No joke, we are only scratching the surface here, friends, so stay tuned for even more fun surprises, hidden secrets, and recommendations to come. Also, don't forget to watch the rest of the videos in this series. We've done the 50 amazing things you never knew were in Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom, so go check those out next. So who would have thought a shopping spree could turn into a full Disney World day you won't want to miss? Before you click off to start planning a Disney Springs itinerary for yourself, don't forget to grab our free Disney Springs quick guide over at disneyfoodblog.com/Disney Springs. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.